Introduction. Now is a very good time to take an interest in Bitcoin and invest in it. It has been going strong for 10 years and its popularity has soared. In order to make the best returns on Bitcoin investments, you need to understand what it really is and how it works. You also need to know the best way to obtain Bitcoins and the best investment strategies. This training will show you all of this and more. Many people think that Bitcoin is a scam, but it certainly isn't. However, there have been some scams in the cryptocurrency world, and you will find out how to avoid these and stay safe in this training. We have worked hard to ensure that everything in this training is explained in the simplest ways. Bitcoin and the underlying blockchain technology are fairly complex, but you will be able to easily understand by going through this training. Bitcoin started out with a value of 0 and has hit highs of $10,000. It is a valuable commodity, and once you have your Bitcoins, you need to keep them safe. You will learn exactly how to do that. Although Bitcoin is a volatile commodity, it should be possible for you to make a good return on your investment if you follow the advice in this training. While there are no guarantees with any form of investing, the advice provided here has worked well for others in the past. What is Bitcoin? You've probably heard of Bitcoin, but you may not be completely sure what it is. That's okay, because by the time you've gone through this training, you will know what it is and how you can make money with it. Bitcoin is a cryptocurrency, which is another term that you need to be familiar with. The other important thing that we will explain is the technology behind Bitcoin and most other cryptocurrencies, which is blockchain. Before we get into the details of Bitcoin, it is important that you understand what cryptocurrencies are and how they work. What are cryptocurrencies? In basic terms, a cryptocurrency is a medium for exchange online. A cryptocurrency has a number of cryptographical functions which are there to support financial transactions. Most cryptocurrencies use the blockchain technology platform, more on this a little later, as it offers immutability, transparency, and decentralization. Cryptocurrencies are not controlled by any central powers, not yet at least. This is deliberate because the whole idea of cryptocurrency and Bitcoin is that they provide immunity from government interference and control. A cryptocurrency can be transferred from one person to another by using public and private keys. There are minimal processing fees involved with cryptocurrency transactions, which are a part of their appeal. Usually, financial institutions have high charges for any monetary transactions. Cryptocurrencies were invented by accident. The inventor of Bitcoin, Satoshi Nakamoto, created a peer-to-peer electronic cash system, and Bitcoin was a byproduct of this system. Before this, there had been numerous attempts to create a digital cash system, but all had failed. The key to the success of Nakamoto's system was that it provided a decentralized financial network rather than the established centralized system. If you wanted to set up your own digital cash system, you would need to create a payment network that provided 3 key things. 1. Accounts. 2. Balances. 3. Transactions. A problem that all payment networks face is double spending. This is all about preventing spending the same amount twice. Up until the creation of Nakamoto's system, this had always been achieved using central server balance records. This is still in existence today. With a decentralized payment network, there is no central server. Instead, every single network entity or node has to perform its job properly. They all need to have a list of transactions so they can monitor if future transactions are a double spend or valid. All of the peers of a decentralized payment network have to agree on everything. There has to be complete consensus. If this doesn't happen, then the transaction will not take place. The problem was how to achieve this total consensus without a central server. Nakamoto figured this out. The transaction properties of cryptocurrencies. In order for a cryptocurrency system to work effectively, there has to be a number of properties in place. These are immutable. After a cryptocurrency transaction is confirmed, then it cannot be changed. Nobody in the world can change a cryptocurrency transaction, not even presidents or monarchs. It is an immutable record. Basically, if you send money to someone else, that's it. There is no turning back. So if you make a mistake or get scammed, then you are stuck with the situation. You do not have the opportunity to reverse the transaction. Pseudonyms. Cryptocurrency accounts and transactions have no connection to real-world identities. You will receive a Bitcoin on an address which is a randomly seeming chain of about 30 characters. You can analyze the transaction flow, but you can't usually connect the transaction to a real person through the address. Global transactions at speed. It doesn't take long to propagate transactions and confirm them. Usually, this all takes place in minutes. The network for cryptocurrency transactions is global, so it doesn't matter where the transaction originates and terminates. High security. The highest levels of transaction security are essential for a cryptocurrency network, and to this end, all funds are locked in a public key cryptography system. Only someone that has a private key can send cryptocurrency. This makes the system extremely secure. No permissions. A cryptocurrency system is a permissionless system. You do not require the permission of anyone or any authority to make a cryptocurrency transaction. There's no gatekeeper with a cryptocurrency system. The monetary properties of cryptocurrency. Now you know the transaction properties of cryptocurrency, you need to understand the monetary properties. These are: there is a controlled supply. Most cryptocurrencies have a limit on the number of tokens supplied. Taking Bitcoin as an example, there will be a decrease of supply over time, and experts estimate that the final number of Bitcoin tokens will happen around 2140. Experts say that only 21 million Bitcoins will be the limit. To control the supply of cryptocurrency tokens, a schedule is written in the underlying code. Using this code, you can approximately calculate today the monetary supply of a cryptocurrency for any given future date. Bearer, not debt. With conventional or fiat money underwritten by a government, the bank account you hold is created by debt. All of the entries in your accounts are debts. It is really an IOU system. A cryptocurrency is not a debt. There has been a lot of controversy over the launch of cryptocurrencies because they are a direct attack on the monetary policy of most nations. Governments or central banks cannot change cryptocurrencies. Therefore, they are immune to inflation and deflation caused by the manipulation of the monetary supply. What is Bitcoin? Bitcoin is a cryptocurrency and a virtual type of money. It's really like having an online version of money or cash. You can use Bitcoin to purchase products and services, and more vendors are accepting Bitcoin as a form of payment these days. Some countries feel very threatened by Bitcoin and have banned it completely. There are no physical Bitcoin tokens. You may have seen pictures of Bitcoins, but these are fabrications. The worth of a Bitcoin resides in the private codes they have imprinted inside them. Every Bitcoin is just a computer file stored in what's called a digital wallet. We will discuss digital wallets in more detail in a later video. If you have a digital wallet, then other people can send you Bitcoins or fractions of them. You can also send Bitcoins or fractions to others using your digital wallet. Every Bitcoin transaction is recorded publicly using blockchain technology. This is a transparent network where anyone can trace the history of Bitcoin transactions. All records in the blockchain are immutable, meaning that you cannot copy transactions, change the number of Bitcoins owned, or use Bitcoins that you don't own. There are several ways that you can purchase Bitcoins, including: you can purchase them using your native currency through a cryptocurrency exchange. You can sell products and services in exchange for Bitcoins. You can use a Bitcoin ATM. You can mine Bitcoins. The practice of mining Bitcoins has been going on for a while. In order to do this, you will need high-end computer equipment and lots of it. These computers perform complex algorithms to guess secret codes. If your computers guess right, you get Bitcoins as a reward. We will not be recommending mining as a way of obtaining Bitcoins in this training. There are only a limited number of Bitcoins, so the process of mining is now incredibly complex. You could spend years mining for Bitcoin and spend a great deal of money on computer equipment and electricity costs without earning any Bitcoins. You may be wondering why Bitcoins are so valuable. When Bitcoin first started, it had no value, but in 5 years, a single Bitcoin was worth around $1,000. At the time of creating this training, a Bitcoin is worth around $8,000. Why this jump? Well, there are a number of other things in life that have value. Diamonds and gold are a good example. Bitcoins have value because people are willing to trade them for real products and services and also buy them for cash. People like the idea that any governments or central banks do not control Bitcoins. They also like the fact that Bitcoin transactions are pretty anonymous. Yes, there is a record of all Bitcoin transactions, but very few include real-world identities. The lowdown on Bitcoin investing. The first thing that you need to know is that Bitcoin is volatile. The value of a single Bitcoin has gone up and down over the years. This is not particularly a bad thing, as other investments go up and down too. You need to be a smart investor with Bitcoin. Why does Bitcoin enjoy value jumps? So many people are reliant on the internet these days. People get very frustrated if they are out and about and cannot find a Wi-Fi connection to use the internet with their mobile devices. Whether this is a good or a bad thing is of no consequence when it comes to Bitcoin investing. The important thing is that the growing use of the internet is good for Bitcoin. Over the years since the launch of Bitcoin, it has attracted investors from all corners of the world. Being a true global digital currency that is available to all, in theory, it is no surprise that it has generated a lot of excitement. Another good reason why the value of Bitcoin has risen so rapidly is because it is a scarce resource that is actually useful. Most people know that there is only so much gold that we can mine. Each year there is less and less gold left in the earth. Therefore, it has great value. You can apply the same logic to Bitcoin. There will only ever be 21 million Bitcoin. As time passes, this number will dwindle and the value increases. It is now very hard to mine Bitcoin, and this is only going to get tougher. Investors really like the fact that Bitcoin represents predictable and sound monetary policy that all can verify. At any time, you can see how many Bitcoins are in circulation and how many new ones have been created. You can easily trade Bitcoin for some products and services. If you have a gold investment, then this is not a liquid asset. You would have to sell some of your gold stock for cash before you could purchase anything. It is very easy to make cross-border transactions using Bitcoin. There are no governments or banks involved. You can send Bitcoin securely in minutes to anywhere in the world. Transaction fees are very low compared to fiat currency transactions. We really have the internet to thank for the rise in popularity and value of Bitcoin. The internet has made the sharing of information easy wherever you are, and this concept will underpin the success of Bitcoin as a global and verifiable currency. The price of Bitcoin. You will not find an official price for Bitcoin anywhere. It is not the same as fiat currencies. It is all about how much someone is willing to pay for a Bitcoin or fraction of a Bitcoin. A good reference for this price is the Bitcoin Price Index provided by CoinDesk, which you can find here. You will usually see the price as the estimate of the value of one Bitcoin. Most cryptocurrency exchanges will let you buy as many Bitcoins as you want and even offer fractions of Bitcoins for sale. When should you buy Bitcoins? There are no guarantees with any investments. The history of Bitcoin shows that it tends to increase in value really fast and then slow down and fall until it is stable. This is a cycle that you need to learn and understand. There are some great tools available that you can use to analyze the price history of Bitcoin. 1. CryptoWatch. 2. Bitcoin Wisdom. One thing about Bitcoin that it is really attractive to investors is that it is never affected by the financial stability of a country. So, if there is speculation that a major currency will fall, such as the UK pound with all of the Brexit issues, then if the currency devalues, this will have an impact on other world currencies. So, you need to think globally with Bitcoin. Don't just look at what is happening in the United States or Europe or China. How is the economy of the world changing? Go for a long-term Bitcoin investment. You may have read that there are people making excellent short-term gains trading Bitcoin. While this may be true, you need expert knowledge and it is a risky strategy. We strongly recommend that you go for a long-term Bitcoin investment strategy. Here is why. If you invested $1,000 in Bitcoin in October 2017, 2 years later in October 2019, you have made a profit of more than $700, providing you with a return of investment of over 70%. That is a staggering return. Despite these kinds of returns being possible, you should still treat Bitcoin as a risky asset to invest in. If you are not prepared to take high-risk investments, then maybe Bitcoin is not for you. You have seen an example of the kind of rewards that are possible, so you need to decide if it is right for you. Bitcoin investment strategies. There are different ways that you can invest in Bitcoin. We will look at the most popular ways here. Long-term buying and holding. This is the Bitcoin investment strategy that we recommend. Here you will buy Bitcoin at a certain price and hold on to it for a period of time in the hope that the value will increase. You may also see this strategy called holding. When you decide to buy and hold, it is very important that you do not just take anyone's advice on whether Bitcoin will rise or fall. You need to know how Bitcoin works and do your homework using the tools available to come to a decision yourself. If you're going to adopt a buy and hold Bitcoin investment strategy, then we suggest that you do the following. 1. Do not invest more than you can comfortably afford to lose. As we said earlier, Bitcoin is a high-risk investment, and this should be in your thoughts at all times. 2. When you have purchased Bitcoins, don't leave them in an exchange wallet. Get your own wallet and move them there. We will discuss the different types of cryptocurrency wallet and their advantages and disadvantages in a later video. 3. Use a reputable exchange to make your Bitcoin purchases. This may cost you a bit more, but it is better to be safe than sorry. 4. Don't purchase all of your Bitcoins in just one trade. Use the principle of dollar cost averaging, DCA, and commit to purchasing a certain amount every month or more frequently throughout the course of the year. When you do this, you pay average prices during the year. Short-term Bitcoin trading. As we said before, this is where you buy Bitcoins at a low price and then sell them at a higher price to realize a profit. The time frame for these investments is short. We do not recommend that you start out with short-term Bitcoin trading. As you learn more about Bitcoin, you can move to a shorter-term trading strategy. It is certainly possible that there are some very large players in the Bitcoin market making profits regularly on short-term Bitcoin trades. You need to learn how to trade properly to make this work, which takes time and practice. Mining for Bitcoins. In order to make any kind of profit with Bitcoin mining, you need to invest in a lot of high-end computer equipment and get the cheapest electricity that you can find. And then there are no guarantees. Mining has become a lot harder over the years. There are less and less Bitcoins to find, and more people are mining. It is just not a cost-effective way to invest in Bitcoin in our opinion. Use the money you would spend on equipment and electricity to buy and hold Bitcoin instead. You may have heard for cloud mining for Bitcoin. The idea here is that you pay for a service that will mine on your behalf using the web. In our experience, these are either scams or so expensive an investment that you might as well just use the money to purchase your Bitcoins. Doubling your Bitcoins. Have you ever seen a website that claims that they can double your Bitcoin holdings? Or maybe you have come across sites that claim that they will pay you high levels of interest every day on your Bitcoins. We have one word for these kind of websites: scam. There are a lot of websites that offer high-yield investment programs, HYIP, and almost all of these are scams too. What happens here is that these sites take money from people all around the internet in exchange for high returns. They use the money they get from new people signing up to pay high returns to the initial investors, which creates a buzz. Then, guess what? A few months later, the website simply disappears. Most people lose their money, and they have no way to get it back. Don't fall for these Ponzi scheme-type scams. You cannot double the number of Bitcoins that you have using these sites. It is more likely that you will lose all of your Bitcoins. How Bitcoin really works. To be profitable with Bitcoin, you have to know how it really works. So in this video, we will explain everything that is involved, including the underlying technology, which is blockchain. We're not going to go into a lot of technical detail about blockchain, so don't worry. But you do need to understand the principles of it. You connect to the blockchain community using a computer network. This network has Bitcoin ledgers using blockchain. All Bitcoin transactions are compiled into blocks, and then these blocks connect in a chain-like formation. This is where the name blockchain comes from. The Bitcoin process. If you want to make a Bitcoin transaction, then you will use your wallet to send out a request to all of the nodes, computers on the entire Bitcoin network. The nodes use special algorithms, a set of rules and calculations, which validate the Bitcoin transaction. Your Bitcoin transaction has to be verified and confirmed, and after this, it is combined with some other transactions to make a new data block and eventually a blockchain. All new blocks are added to the end of the blockchain. At this stage, the transaction is final and immutable. It usually takes between 10 minutes and 45 minutes to process a Bitcoin transaction. A Bitcoin transaction never happens immediately. There could be no changes to the transaction once it is finalized. The receiver of your Bitcoin transaction then sees this in their wallet. Bitcoin miners are essential. We have mentioned Bitcoin miners a couple of times in this training, and actually these people are very important. Why? Well, they are the keepers of the Bitcoin ledgers. If you think of a gold miner working tirelessly to find gold, Bitcoin miners are doing the same thing, trying to find scarce Bitcoins. The Bitcoin miners verify and confirm all Bitcoin transactions. They really are the lifeblood of the Bitcoin system. Without them, the whole thing would not work. There would be no new blocks created for the blockchain. This is why they are rewarded occasionally with valuable Bitcoins. If blocks are not added to the blockchain, then no Bitcoin transactions will be finalized. This means that not only will Bitcoin payments fail to be sent and received, but there will be no new Bitcoins created. Bitcoin miners know that there are only a limited number of Bitcoins available, and as time passes, they will all be competing for a dwindling number. They just leave their Bitcoin mining computers running 24 hours a day to keep verifying and confirming transactions and trying to earn those elusive Bitcoins. No trust required. The design of Bitcoin and the underlying blockchain technology is such that no trust is required. It uses heavy encryption techniques to keep everything safe, hence the name cryptocurrency. There is no need for human trust in the Bitcoin network because it operates on tried and tested computer algorithms. It is virtually impossible to cheat the Bitcoin network because it is a public environment. It would take a ton of computing power to break down all the encryption, even if that were possible. So, it makes more sense to use this kind of power to mine the Bitcoin network instead. Your identity is protected on the Bitcoin network. All of your Bitcoin transactions are verified using a private and public key. You use your private key as your digital signature in your Bitcoin transactions, and network users can verify this by using your public key. Both of these keys are encrypted, so you can only use a public key if the correct private key is used. Public and private keys are very important for you to understand as a cryptocurrency investor. A public key is tied to a public address where you can deposit cryptocurrencies. You can use your public address to broadcast so that you can receive payments from other peers. Your private key is not for sharing with anyone, as it is essentially the password to protect your funds. This private key links to your public key for added security. Your private key is how your balance is determined through the Bitcoin network. The public and private key system has two major advantages. One, it is virtually impossible for cybercriminals to steal your identity and make fraudulent transactions. Two, you can be completely anonymous on the Bitcoin network if that is useful for you. So now you know how Bitcoin really works. In the next video, we will look at the various ways that you can acquire Bitcoins. TikTok hashtags. It is very important that you use the right hashtags with your TikTok posts. You can add them to a video post, in an independent post, or on the section for comments. If you want to categorize some of your content on TikTok, then you need to use the right hashtags. You can also use hashtags when you want your audience to know that the video post you are publishing is related to some of your previous posts. If you want to highlight a trending event, then you need to use hashtags. Reasons to use TikTok hashtags. There are a number of important reasons why you should use TikTok hashtags. Here are the two most important reasons. Get more likes and exposure. The main reason to use hashtags is to make it easy for TikTok users to understand what your videos are about so that they will be persuaded to watch them. By persuading your audience to watch a video with the right hashtags, you will certainly get more views. Hashtags are good at highlighting trending topics that users do not want to miss. It will increase the number of likes that you get too. The more engagement that you can get through the right hashtags, the better, and this will help you to drive more sales. Increase your following. Some of the users on TikTok will be looking for specific types of content. They will look at hashtags as the best way to determine the type of content. You must use relevant hashtags, and TikTok users will be more likely to follow you if your hashtags accurately describe your content. There are other users trying to dupe people with their hashtags. How can you find the best hashtags for TikTok? You need to know how to find the best hashtags for your content on TikTok. There are some proven methods that you can use to find them. Know your audience. A lot of your audience on TikTok will only follow certain hashtags on the platform. If you just use random hashtags and do not categorize your post properly, then users will ignore your hashtags and posts. You will not establish yourself in your niche unless you research your audience properly to find out what they really like. Once you know what your audience wants, it will be easy for you to create your own unique hashtags that will really appeal to them. You can start to create customized hashtags once you have established your brand with your audience. Look at what TikTok influencers are doing. You need to find out who the best influencers are on TikTok and take a look at how they have become so successful. It is important that you learn from these influencers because they know what they are doing and how to get the best out of the platform. Look at the trends that influencers write on and the hashtags that they use. Take a look at the posts that the influencers make and note the hashtags they use for the most successful posts. Also look at some of their posts that didn't work so well so you can avoid making the same mistakes. Check out your competitors. Spend some time researching your competitors on TikTok. Most of them are going to use the same hashtags on their posts, and then you can follow these to see what your audience wants from the niche you are in. This is a very important task when you are just starting out with TikTok and you are trying to establish yourself. Never copy what your competitors are doing. Look at their successes to generate ideas for the hashtags that you can use. Use tools to find good TikTok hashtags. There are good tools that you can use to find hashtags. Using these tools will show you popular hashtags for specific niches. Here are a couple of good tools that you can use. Seek Metrics. You can use this tool to find good hashtags for your TikTok posts. There's also an option to use comparative metrics so that you can measure your performance on the platform. It is easy to use Seek Metrics and the interface is intuitive. There is a search feature where you can type in a hashtag keyword and Seek Metrics will provide some suggestions for you. You can copy these suggestions to later add them to your TikTok posts. All Hashtag. All Hashtag is another good hashtag generator. To use the tool, then just type in a keyword and All Hashtag will do the rest. It will recommend good hashtags for your niche and then you can copy them for future reference. The best 100 hashtags to use for more likes. Here are the best hashtags that we recommend you use to get more likes for your TikTok posts. 1. TikTok. 2. Funny. 3. Love. 4. Follow me. 5. Memes. 6. Cute. 7. Music. 8. Fun. 9. Fashion. 10. Happy. 11. Musically. 12. Follow. 13. Follow for follow back. 14. Comedy. 15. LOL. 16. Meme. 17. Like for like. 18. Muser. 19. Video. 20. Girl. 21. Funny videos. 22. Dank memes. 23. Dance. 24. Like for follow. 25. TBT. 26. TikTokindo. 27. Me. 28. Repost for follow. 29. Summer. 30. Pick of the day. 31. Friends. 32. Life. 33. Beauty. 34. Repost. 35. Selfie. 36. Smile. 37. Amazing. 38. Family. 39. Beach. 40. OOTD. 41. Beautiful. 42. Fitness. 43. Sky. 44. Pretty. 45. Duet. 46. Sunset. 47. Dog. 48. Hair. 49. Swag. 50. VSCO. 51. Cat. 52. Makeup. 53. Holiday. 54. Inspiration. 55. iPhone only. 56. C. 57. Fashion. 58. Art. 59. Tags for likes. 60. Sun. 61. No filter. 62. Travel. 63. Follow for follow. 64. Photo. 65. Photography. 66. VSCO cam. 67. Model. 68. Fall in love. 69. Insta-like. 70. Nature. 71. NYC. 72. Photo of the day. 73. Home. 74. Drawing. 75. Healthy. 76. Best of the day. 77. Gym. 78. Baby. 79. Design. 80. Cool. 81. Instapic. 82. Motivation. 83. Night. 84. Party. 85. Insta-cool. 86. Christmas. 87. Fit. 88. Good morning. 89. Workout. 90. Blue. 91. Flowers. 92. Handmade. 93. Black and white. 94. Insta-food. 95. Yummy. 96. Pink. 97. Hot. 98. Lifestyle. 99. Work. 100. Black. Take a good look at these hashtag suggestions and work out which ones will suit your niche. Some of them are general, so you can experiment with these. Always measure your hashtag performance, as it is very important for your success on TikTok. Setting up your website. Don't let the thought of setting up your website terrify you. It is really very easy, and there are lots of helpful videos available on YouTube that will show you how to do everything. Before we get into the detail, let's cover the subject of free websites. If you are on a budget, it can be very tempting to create a free website using services such as WordPress.com or Blogger.com. There are others too. Some people do get started this way, but we wouldn't recommend it. There are two main reasons why free websites are not a good idea. One, you can spend a lot of time adding new content to your free website only to find that for some reason it has to be taken down by Blogger or WordPress. How devastating would that be? This happens quite a lot, so you have been warned. Two, a free website screams cheap. If you can't be bothered to invest a few bucks in your own domain name and web hosting, why should anybody buy something that you recommend? Okay, some visitors to your website might not know that it is free, but a lot of people will know. These days, internet users are very savvy, so it is not worth losing potential customers because they think you are cheap. And do you really want to take the risk of your website disappearing without a trace? This does happen, and you could have spent weeks or months adding content only to find that it is all gone. This reason alone should put you off using free websites. Finding the right domain name. You need to register a domain name for your website. A domain name is your unique address on the internet. Google.com is a domain name. You need to find a domain name that suits your chosen niche. Some people will register their own name as a domain name, such as SarahThomas.com, which is okay, but if you have a common name, this could be difficult. We would always recommend that you choose a .com domain name. It is by far the most popular, and Google really likes .com domains. This is really important as it will help you to rank your website pages high in Google search. We will explain more about this in the next video. Let's assume that you have chosen the parenting niche. It would be great to register a domain name that is relevant to this. So how do you find a great domain name? Well, you can use a domain registrar such as GoDaddy.com or Namecheap.com to search for a great name. There are a lot of other domain registrars, but these are two of the best. We did a search in GoDaddy.com and found that ParentingsAge.com was available at the time of writing this training. Sage means wise, and will give the impression that you are an expert in parenting, which, of course, you are. You can look for other examples, too. If you can't find the name you want available as a .com, then go for a .net or .org. You can also use a country-specific domain extension such as .co.uk for the United Kingdom, or .com.au for Australia. The .com, .net, and .org domain extensions are perceived as global, so these are the best choice. Once you have found a good name, then register it immediately so that nobody else can take it. It will cost you around $10 a year to register a .com domain name. With Namecheap.com, you will also get free privacy for a year, which means that people will not be able to easily find your personal details. This is certainly worth considering. After purchasing your domain name, you will need to point it to your web servers. This is nowhere near as complicated as it sounds. In order to have web servers, you will need to purchase a web hosting package. Web hosting packages. You will need a web hosting service to make your website visible on the internet. Just as there are many domain registrars, there are many web hosting companies out there as well. They will vary in price and what they can offer you. Here are some important things to look out for with a web host. The monthly cost, the location of the web servers, in other words, USA, UK, Europe, Asia, etc. How many domain names can you host? How much disk space will you get? How much bandwidth, internet traffic will you get? Does the web host have WordPress one-click install software? Okay, let's take a look at each one of these. The cost. Web hosting can start from $1 a month and rise to hundreds a month. We suggest that you choose a web host that will offer all the things in the above list for around $10–15 a month. Web server location. If you believe that the majority of your audience will be in the United States, for example, then it is best to choose a web host with servers there. Your website will load faster for your potential customers, which is very important. How many domain names? If your web host will only allow you to add one domain name to your hosting, then if you want to create another website, you will have to purchase another web hosting package. Look for web hosts that offer several or even unlimited domain names. Disk space. When you create a website, you will add a number of files to your web hosting servers. A lot of web hosts these days offer unlimited disk space, so look out for this. Bandwidth. Some web hosts will limit the amount of bandwidth that you can use each month. So look for web hosts that offer unlimited bandwidth. One-click installation of WordPress. This is very important. A lot of web hosts will have a feature where you can install the free WordPress blogging platform on your domain name with one click of your mouse. You need this as you are going to use the WordPress blogging platform to create your website. This is different to a free website at WordPress.com. We recommend HostGator.com for your web hosting. They have been around for years and are used to dealing with internet marketers. They have different packages available that offer unlimited domains, one-click install of WordPress, unmetered or unlimited bandwidth, and disk space and USA servers for around $10 a month. There are lots of other good web hosts available that can provide you with a similar deal. Search for web host comparisons in Google to learn more. Always go for a web host that has the one-click WordPress install feature. When you sign up for your web hosting, they will send you an email with the complete details of your account. Don't worry if this doesn't make any sense to you at all. Just look in the email for your DNS servers. Your web host will normally provide you with 2 DNS server addresses. You need to copy these as you will point your domain to these servers from your domain registrar. Pointing your domain name to your web servers. Okay, this sounds really technical, but the process is very easy. Once you have the details for your web hosting account, copy the 2 DNS server addresses. These are usually in the format of ns1.hotname.com and ns2.hostname.com. Here's a good video that explains everything. You will need to log into your domain registrar, in other words, GoDaddy.com, and then find the settings for your domain name. You will need to change the current DNS addresses to the ones you copied from your hosting account. Just save the changes and you are done. Usually, this will work pretty instantly, but sometimes it can take a bit of time for the changes to take effect. The next task is to add your domain name to your web hosting account. You will need to log into your web hosting account and use cPanel to do this. Once you have the cPanel screen in front of you, find the icon to add a domain. Click on this and enter your domain name, in other words, parentsage.com, and a password, and then click the Add Domain button. That's it. Now you can install your WordPress website. Installing your WordPress website. Important note, if you want to create an online store, then please see the next section as you might want to use another platform other than WordPress. Stay logged into your web hosting and return to the cPanel homepage. You should see an icon for WordPress installation or one-click software installation. If you are in doubt, then ask your web host for help. Click on this icon and then start your WordPress installation. You will need to select your domain name from the drop-down menu. Give your website a name, you can change this later, and add a username and password. Sometimes this is automatic and you will receive this information after the installation is complete. Then click on the Install button. A few seconds later, your WordPress website will be installed and ready for you to use. The good thing about these one-click install services is that they will automatically update your website when a new version of WordPress comes out. This is great stuff. Why WordPress? Because it is so easy to set up and use. You don't require any technical knowledge to install or use a WordPress website. Once WordPress is installed on your domain name, you just need to log into your website and you can change the appearance, add enhancements with plugins, and start adding content with posts and pages. All WordPress websites have themes. This is how your website looks and feels. There are thousands of free themes available for WordPress, and you can invest in a premium theme for a few dollars if you want to go down that route. You can change your theme anytime you want. Plugins are bits of code that you can add to your WordPress website to enhance it. There are plugins for all sorts of functionality such as contact forms, SEO, search engine optimization, website analytics, and a lot more. Just do a Google search for most popular WordPress plugins and decide which ones you need to install. Here's a great video about the best free WordPress plugins. YouTube really is a great resource for information on setting up your WordPress website. There are tons of great videos on how to do everything. You will be a master of WordPress in no time at all after watching some of these videos. Adding content to your WordPress website is really easy. Just add a new post, write your content, or paste it in from a word processing document, add images and or videos, and when you are happy with how it looks, just publish. Your content will be instantly available on the internet. Online store. If you want to open an online store selling your own products, then you can still use WordPress and install an online store plugin. WooCommerce is a good example. There are other platforms that you can use other than WordPress for your online store. A good option is freewebstore.com. There are paid platforms that you can use for your online store as well that will provide more features. The most commonly used platform is Shopify.com, and they have a number of different plans available. Payment processor. If you're going to sell your own products and services, then you need a way for people to pay you. That's the whole point, isn't it? Today, there are many payment processors you can choose from to collect payments for you. They will accept major credit cards such as Visa, MasterCard, and American Express, and some debit cards too. Payment processors make their money by taking a percentage of the sale price. So, if you have a product that sells for $27, then the payment processor will take maybe $2 for processing the payment for you. You need to know what their commission rates are so that you can factor this into your pricing. One of the most popular and best payment processors is PayPal.com. A lot of people already have PayPal accounts for buying things from eBay.com. If not, it doesn't matter because they don't have to have an account to purchase what you are selling. They can use a major credit card for the purchase. You can sign up for a PayPal account for free, but you will need to verify your account to start using it to sell products and services. This is very easy to do. There are other payment processors such as 2Checkout.com and Stripe and more. Getting ready for Bitcoin trading. We hope that we have convinced you in this training that Bitcoin investing can make you a lot of money. You may have heard how others have purchased Bitcoins in the past and ended up selling them for a huge profit. It is possible, and there's no reason why you can't do this too. There are certainly experienced Bitcoin traders out there that make a lot of money from their trades. They may not be successful with every trade, but overall, they make consistent profits. The thing is that trading Bitcoin successfully is not an easy thing to do. You really have to be prepared. It is not impossible for someone just starting out with Bitcoin to be successful, but you have to be financially and mentally ready for this. Bitcoin trading is all about high risk and high reward. The key to success is to buy at low prices and then sell at higher prices. While this is obvious, it is not that easy to do. A lot of newcomers to Bitcoin trading end up panicking when they are making trades. After all, they are dealing with digital currency that is worth thousands of dollars. Panic levels will rise even more if you are using your savings to trade or your pension fund. Strategies for Bitcoin trading. If you are really interested in Bitcoin trading, then the first thing that you need to realize is that you need to use common sense and maintain self-control. Don't go into it thinking that you are going to make a ton of money in a day. If you get too greedy, then you are very likely to fail. Learn and get as much practice as you can. You need to learn everything that you can about Bitcoin trading before you start to do it for real. Knowledge is great, but there is nothing like experiencing how Bitcoin trading works in the real world. To give yourself a good start with Bitcoin trading, sign up with a cryptocurrency exchange that will allow you to use a demo account to experience how things work in the real world. You will see real-time prices for Bitcoin, and it will help you to get used to the Bitcoin trading interface. You need a trading plan. Successful Bitcoin trading relies on having a good strategy in place. Sure, you might get lucky with your first few trades, but sooner or later your luck will run out, and this can be very expensive. One of the biggest mistakes that newcomers to Bitcoin trading make is that they follow the news, see that a lot of other people are making Bitcoin trades, and this compels them to do the same thing. Experienced traders like this because it will force the Bitcoin price up and they can profit from previous purchases. Don't follow trends blindly. Create a plan that defines the price that you should purchase Bitcoins for and the price that you should sell them at to realize the profit that you want. If you stick to a plan like this, then you will significantly reduce the risk of panicking if you suddenly see prices fall. Practice with small amounts. When you are starting out with Bitcoin trading, only invest small amounts with trades. This is all part of your learning curve in early training. No matter how good an opportunity seems, resist the temptation to go all in. Use your demo account to perform a lot of trades before you start spending real money. If you clean out your demo account, then this is not a big deal, but losing all of your real money is completely devastating. Keep your emotions in check. The thought of losing money can be really alarming to you. We have told you many times in this training that Bitcoin is volatile, and in one day the price can go down by a significant amount. The good thing is that the price can rise significantly in no time at all as well. You must keep your emotions in check if you want to be successful with Bitcoin trading. Thinking logically will always be the best strategy. Never let your emotions determine which Bitcoin trades you should or shouldn't make. It is understandable that you will be excited about the opportunities that Bitcoin trading offers, but we strongly recommend that you take this a step at a time and learn everything that you can about trading. Use a few demo accounts to practice with before you start investing real money. The more accustomed you are with the trading environment, the better. If you make mistakes with your demo account, work out what went wrong and avoid the same mistake in the future. Real-life Bitcoin investment strategies. In an earlier video, we provided you with a lowdown on Bitcoin investing. In this video, we will look at some of the real-life Bitcoin investment strategies that are working well for some savvy investors. Many people are jumping on the Bitcoin investment bandwagon nowadays because of the price rises, But most of these people fail because they are ill-prepared. They do not have the advantage of going through this training like this to help them like you do. Throughout this training, we have made no secret of the fact that Bitcoin is a volatile digital currency and it goes up and down in value on a regular basis. That is why we recommend that you adopt a long-term approach to your Bitcoin investing so that if the price does drop, you give it time to recover. So here, we will take a more in-depth look at some of the real-life methods that successful Bitcoin investors use to make a profit. The dollar cost averaging method. We mentioned this briefly in video 2. This really is the best Bitcoin investment method for beginners because it removes the need to enter the Bitcoin market when the timing is right. A lot of novice Bitcoin investors spend a lot of time and really stress out waiting for the price of Bitcoin to fall to the right level. When you use the dollar cost averaging method for your Bitcoin investing, you will spread your risk over a time period. All you need to do is make purchases at regular intervals and then hold them in your secure wallet. Here's an example of how this works. Let's say that each week you can spare $100 to invest in Bitcoin. So you will make a purchase every week for $100, and some weeks you will receive more Bitcoins for your money and others you will get less. There is no need for you to study Bitcoin price charts for hours. All you need to do is have the discipline to make those $100 purchases every week. You don't have to wait around for the right price drops just to make your purchase anyway. When you use the dollar averaging method, you will find that your profits average out when you decide to sell. You might not achieve huge profits using this method, but if you sell when the Bitcoin price is high, then you will still make a good return. Investing a lump sum into Bitcoins. This method is definitely not one for the faint of heart, but we want to cover all our bases here. When you invest a lump sum in Bitcoins, you will purchase them at a specific price point. There is an element of risk when you do this. Let's assume that you have $50,000 to invest. Naturally, you want to get as many Bitcoins as possible for your investment. In order to have the best chance of doing this, you have no choice but to wait until the Bitcoin price goes down. There is no other alternative here. You must wait and time your entry into the Bitcoin market as well as you can. The problem is that in practice, the price of Bitcoin fluctuates very often, so predicting the next price dip is really tough to do. If you have a lump sum to invest right now, we wouldn't advise that you start with this. It takes experience to make a good judgment of the right price dip. Even the experts get this wrong sometimes. When you are new to Bitcoin investing and want to invest a lump sum, you may see a price dip and then think to yourself, if I just hang on for a while, it may go down even more. Or, what if the price never reaches my low point? The same scenario applies to selling your lump sum investment. How do you know the best price to sell your Bitcoins for? It may be very difficult to sell at the prices that you need to make the profit you planned for. If you sell too soon and the price goes up even more, then you will criticize yourself heavily. Think what you could have done with all of that extra profit. Obviously, a lump sum investment will provide you with much higher profit than the dollar cost averaging method if you get the timing just right. Bitcoin Investing Hedge Fund. You may not be aware of this, but there are actually cryptocurrency hedge funds available that include Bitcoin. This could be a good alternative for you if you do not want to learn about Bitcoin investing that you will need to do if you want to use other investment strategies. The biggest drawback with any hedge fund is the expensive performance and management fees. Cryptocurrency hedge funds will insist that you pay the management fee up front. Usually, these fees are in the region of 2% of your investment, so if you want to invest $100,000, then you are going to have to pay around $2,000 as a management fee, which leaves you with $98,000 for investing in cryptocurrencies. You will be appointed a hedge fund manager, and they work on a profits percentage basis. This can be as high as 20%. So if you were able to secure a $40,000 profit from your investment, then you will have to pay $8,000 to your hedge fund manager. These figures may startle you, and cryptocurrency hedge funds are not going to be everyone's idea of a good thing. But when you think about it, you will have totally hands-off investing here, which can make big profits for you. Avoid Bitcoin and cryptocurrency scams. Although Bitcoin is certainly not a scam, there are plenty of people out there that will try and scam you out of your precious Bitcoins. Like any other high-value commodity, some people will do everything that they can to get their hands on Bitcoins. So, in this video, we will look at some of the most common scams that you need to avoid. Bitcoin exchanges that are fake. We would always recommend that you use a cryptocurrency exchange that has an established reputation and have been operating for a few years. In this training, we have told you about Coinbase, Kraken, Poloniex, and Bittrex. There are others too, such as CEX.io, Bitstamp.net, and Changelly.com. There are so many cryptocurrency exchanges available today that it will be impossible for us to vouch for any of them. You need to conduct your own due diligence here and find out the history and look for reviews from users. If you see an exchange offering rates that are just too good to be true, then be very suspicious. Unfortunately, there are fake exchanges that look like the real thing, and then when you try to trade with them, they will steal your Bitcoins and you will never see them again. These fake exchanges prey on newcomers to the Bitcoin space. They offer the opportunity to purchase Bitcoins for up to 20% lower than you would see on reputable sites like Coinbase. Unfortunately, some new people fall for this scam. You know better now. Another sign of a fake exchange is where they offer to purchase your Bitcoins from you at a higher than average price and then send you the amount in US dollars to your PayPal account. This will never happen and they will just steal your Bitcoins. Phishing scams. These are performed using email. The aim is to get the login details for your online wallet. So you will receive an email from a domain name that looks like Coinbase.com, for example, that is not from the genuine site. It might be from Coinsbase.com, pretending to be Coinbase.com, or they use other tricks. If you fall for this kind of phishing scam and use your Coinbase.com login details to log into the fake website, then the scammers then have your information and can log into your Coinbase account, lock you out of your own account, and steal all your Bitcoins. Malware scams. These are nasty. You'll be asked to click a link in an email or on a website that will download malware on your computer without you knowing it. Usually the malware is a keylogger which will record everything that you type and send this back to the scammers. So if you type in your Coinbase username and password, this will be shared with the thieves. Never click on any links in emails or on websites that you are not 100% sure about. If you notice something being downloaded, then stop it immediately. Ponzi scams. If someone offered you a guaranteed return on your investment, then you would be interested, right? Well, here's the thing. Nobody can offer you this kind of guarantee with cryptocurrencies. There is no such thing as a risk-free investment. Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies are volatile by their very nature. If someone tells you that they can guarantee a daily 10% return on investment, they are a scammer. A Ponzi scheme pays off the early members with the investments made by new members. It has been going on for years, and so many people fall for new ones. The best way to avoid Ponzi scheme scams is to always bear in mind that if it seems too good to be true, then it probably is. Mining scams. There's a lot of interest in Bitcoin mining. Cloud mining is a concept where you do not have to invest heavily in the necessary high-level computer hardware for Bitcoin mining. Simply join a group and the mining is done for you. Of course, you will need to pay for this privilege. While there are legitimate cloud mining programs, there are a number of scammers as well. Take a good look at the website to see if they have a secure HTTPS domain, and also search for reviews about the company on search engines. We don't recommend that you get into Bitcoin mining when you are starting out. If you do like the idea of cloud mining, then you must do your homework, otherwise you run the risk of scammers taking your money for nothing in return. Conclusion. If you have gone through this training from start to end, you have a strong foundation in Bitcoin and can take this forward to start making sound investments. This is just the start for you. So we urge you to track the trends with Bitcoin and to keep abreast of all new developments with this cryptocurrency. There have been fortunes made through Bitcoin investing and trading, but it is not a get-rich-overnight situation. You need to develop an investment plan and only make investments that you can afford. Initially, we strongly recommend that you approach Bitcoin investing as a long-term investment. With more and more businesses realizing the power of Bitcoin, you will be able to use yours in more places to make purchases in the near future. If you have a business yourself, then we strongly recommend that you provide your customers with the choice of making Bitcoin payments. If you are concerned about the future of Bitcoin, then there's no need for this. It is growing and here to stay. The fact that you can now purchase Bitcoins from ATMs speaks volumes. The blockchain technology that supports Bitcoin is now considered to be the future of online financial transactions and supply chain management. So now, it is over to you. You need to take action and follow the advice in this training. Going through this training will make you smarter. Taking action has the potential to make you richer. Remember to start small and use a reputable cryptocurrency exchange like Coinbase.com. Also, get a secure wallet to transfer your Bitcoins and keep them safe. If you see a cryptocurrency offer that's too good to be true, then it probably is. Avoid anything that claims to sell Bitcoins at way below market value or will guarantee returns. This is all a scam. Nobody can double your Bitcoins either, so steer clear of this as well. We hope that you found Bitcoin Breakthrough informative and helpful. Get started today with your Bitcoin investing. We wish you every success on your Bitcoin journey, and remember that you always need to keep learning. The smartest investors are the ones that usually make the highest profits.